Hello, Steve89. Well, I'm going to try and do a review of the Star Trek Picard short trek, Children of Mars. This is my second attempt. The first one was so negative and full of bile and low energy. Just thought I should redo it. Okay, now it's only 8 minutes long. It starts off with introducing two characters, Kima and Lil, an alien girl and a human girl, one whose mum works at the Utopia Planitia shipyards, and one whose dad works at the Mars orbital platform or whatever. Now we get one or two nice shots of a couple of ships in space dock now around Mars. Now, unfortunately, they are Discovery era ships, and it's basically, as Captain Foley said, a middle finger to the Next Generation fans, a slap in the face of the Next Generation fans. Basically, it's, this is Discovery, bitch. So we get our Discovery bitch ships, and it makes no sense that we would have Discovery era ships in Next Gen, except to say, this is not Next Gen, you're not getting Next Gen, this is Discovery, bitch. So I watched a few people's reviews, and the most striking ones were Jessie Gender's one, because she found it to be a real emotional gut punch. I'm not sure if that's the right pronoun, forgive me, I haven't actually checked. But I didn't take it that way. The other one was Captain Foley. He looked absolutely drained, and apparently he had to calm down for an hour after watching the short trek because he was so angry, and he needed to be able to do the review without swearing every hour, a couple of seconds, like apparently he was when he was speaking to his wife about it after he saw it. Because the right move, and what we were promised, and the whole idea of Picard was, okay, people hate Discovery, so let's just leave Discovery in its century, and we'll just do a Next Gen era show, continue on from Next Gen, and the real Star Trek fans can watch that. Discovery fans can watch Discovery. Everyone's happy. We've got two different Star Treks going at the same time. That's fine. We kind of did that with Deep Space Nine and Voyager, and Deep Space Nine and Next Gen, but they were actually the same universe. They were just different tone of shows. So, no. Do they do that? No. They basically had to link the Next Gen era Picard show to Discovery and say, this is Discovery, bitch, or this is the Discovery Next Gen, the Discovery Universe Next Gen. This is not your Next Gen. This is, and it is a slap in the face, and it is just pointless. And like I said, the right thing was to have the two things running separately, so you have both lots of fans happy. Instead, you're just slapping the Next Gen fans. So after a slap in the face, I wasn't happy, nor was Captain Foley. He was a bit more pissed off than I was, though, because he's more into the ship designs. So I usually look at other people's videos before I do my own, just so I'm not just... I try to get some perspective and not just sort of, just say what I really think. I just usually like to do a little bit of reading, a little bit of viewing, try and get a few other perspectives, so I don't just have one limited sort of perspective or whatever. And it's kind of interesting to find the contrast with some of the Discovery videos. Some people love them, some people hate them. Okay, so after that travesty, we basically have a second travesty, which is basically a cover of Bowie's We Can Be Heroes, which doesn't really apply to this section of this film at all. And we basically have two girls who are supposed to be Next Gen era Roddenberry humans who are evolved, educated, sophisticated, but instead they're basically acting like 20th century girls, and they are just bullying each other and assaulting each other, and they have a full-on girl fight in the middle of their lockers in the hall. It's absolutely primitive and like the kind of thing you'd expect to see present day human girls, and that's because that's the writing level of this show and the audience that they're trying to attract. This is Gilmore Girls writing, trying to attract teenagers and teenage girls. So that's why we get this video, this short film, which is basically just two girls bullying each other for 5-6 minutes. And then they get put into detention and they just glare at each other because they've learned nothing, because they're unevolved, that they're not the evolved human beings of the next generation future. They're just animals. And then suddenly the humans start running around, or Vulcans start running around, and we see that there is a September 11 style terrorist attack or some sort of attack on Mars. And we see basically 24th century news footage. We see Admiral Picard commenting, and we see all that we really see. This video was promised, this short film, the short trek, was promised to be like a prequel, like some insight to Picard that was going to lead into Picard. It offers us nothing. All we see is a few shots of some ships, little triangle ships, shooting up the space stations above Mars and the surface of Mars, just like we see in the preview. We don't see anything more than what we see in the preview. We get no insight, no information, nothing. It's just happening in the background. We're just aware of it happening in the background, and that's it. It's an absolute nothing, waste of time short trek. It's just a girl fight with a couple of girls acting like animals, and that's all we get. And then at the end of it, totally out of character, totally doesn't make any sense. These girls who realize, quite possibly with the thousands that have been killed, that their parents are both dead on Mars, and they suddenly, out of character, reach out in tears and like hold each other's hands. I'm like, no. These girls, from what we've seen, would have turned on each other, blamed each other for what happened, and attacked each other and fought each other like animals, because that's what they are. They're not sophisticated, Roddenberry evolved next gen era children like we saw in the next gen. They are just, the whole thing's just a waste of time. It's short, and originally I thought someone was complaining about, I think it was Jesse was complaining about how short it was, and I really don't care, because it was nothing. I mean, I don't need another 2 or 3 minutes of just nothing. Now, if they'd actually shown and explained some of what happened on Mars and why it happened on Mars, then it would have been worth a few more minutes. But that's it. So it gives no insight, it gives no information, it is just a waste of time. A couple of nice effects shots, and that's it. And it's just a slap in the face, basically telling us original next gen, real Star Trek fans, purist Star Trek fans, whatever Star Trek fans you want to call us, basically slapping us in the face and saying, no, this is Discovery, bitch. Don't even think of getting next gen here. Don't bother. So I don't think many people will, and I hope not many people will. I'm going to end up watching the show just so I can review it and I can talk about it. But I just hope... I had some hope for the show. I think basically all I did was manage to string whatever shots from the show looked like next gen into a trailer to fool people into thinking they're going to get next gen, to try and sell people on the memory berries and the nostalgia of next gen. But we're not getting next gen. They've made it really clear in their defense. They have made it really clear we're not getting next gen. There is no mistake. If you go to this expecting next gen and get disappointed, you're stupid. So but why would you go to this at all if it's supposed to be a next gen era show and not getting next gen? You're just getting the next gen era of Discovery. Why would you watch it unless you're a Discovery fan? This is the most disappointing of all Star Trek short treks, and it really is telling me Picard is not going to be worth watching. And I'm hoping somehow this short trek is wrong and the series itself is going to be okay, and it's going to be next gen, just slightly, modern or something. But I'm just losing hope. I'm feeling I'm being delusional by even hoping for that. So I'm just going to leave it there. I've got nothing good to say. I'm sorry. Feel free to share, comment. Comments are fun. Let me know what you think. I don't have anything good to say. It's just disappointing and surprising in a bad way, and I'm just gonna try not to give up, but I probably should.